Self-discipline is the most important thing you will ever learn in your life because it means instead of going with the flow and letting others decide your life, you decide to take things into control and shape your life the way you want. It is unlimited level of the freedoms where you decided that you end up becoming, and that's why it's so important. You can accomplish in a single year more by being disciplined than you can in the 10 years without discipline. By the end of this video, you will learn how exactly you can be disciplined. I will share with you how I personally build my disciplines. If you are ready, let's start with the first steps. Number one, create sense of the accomplishment. It's difficult, it's not impossible to keep yourself motivated when you don't see your progress. Often that's main reasons why people giving up although they might be close to their goals. The best way to visualize your progress is to write it down. I know that you have heard countless times that you should create to-do lists, but what is the best way to see your progress is right in front of you after having your morning routine. Take a piece of the paper and a pen and create a list of what you have to accomplish throughout the day. To consider the day productive and successful, I typically have something between 5 to 6. I know that you can do it your phone or computer, but think about how much of the distractions is your phone, how much unnecessary things you do when you turn on your computer. It's far more productive to rely on the traditional tools such as the pen and the black note. And every time you accomplish an important task, don't move to another until you properly rest and tick the box that you have accomplished it. Keep the list always around you so that every time you get distracted, it will remind you of the important things that you have to take care of. And at the end of the day, if you end up ticking at all the boxes, you will see your accomplishments right in front of you, and it will give you the motivation to keep moving, to accomplish more tomorrow, to have another productive day. Don't push too hard. One of the places I spend a lot of the time is the gym because I just love lifting weights and always being in a shape. My friends often ask me to help them out to get into shape, and I see this problem all the time. They came to the gym and go all in. As much as I tell them, don't push too hard. It's your first day. You shouldn't exercise far more than a half an hour, and should take minimum weight. They don't listen. He is motivated and he has to take the maximum weight he possibly can. What ends up happening is that the next day every muscle of his body is pain, he gets exhausted and never visits the gym again. It happens all the time with everything I get in. You watch the motivation video, you are inspired, but that's not sustainable. If you push too hard, you will get exhausted and give up. So start with something extremely small on the habit and a time. It doesn't matter if it takes an entire year to build a self-discipline, that's much better than the going all in and giving up the next day. Number 3. Long-term benefits should override short-term pleasures. This is the golden point of this video. If you would offer the $1,000 today or $1,010 next month, what would you choose? Most people will choose $1,000 today because waiting 10 months for the extra $10 doesn't worth it. But what if the $1,000 today to $2,000 next month? Most people would rather wait for another couple of the weeks and get the extra $2,000. The time frame didn't change, but the reward is substantially more. The only reasons you are willing to control your temperations from getting that $1,000 now is because you will get twice the amount if you just wait a little longer. And that's how your brain always thinks. It always compares long-term benefits with the short-term pleasures. The only way to discipline yourself is to make it clear to your brain that long-term benefits are significantly higher than the short-term gains. So before you push yourself to wake up early, work more hours, or start going to the gym, ask yourself, why do you want to do that? What is the final goal? Let's say you want to be financially independent, and the path to it might be save more, live frugally, and hustles for 4 or 5 years. Next time, before wasting your money on unnecessary thing, your brain is going to compare wealth in worth to spend a few $100 on the pairs of sneakers that don't need you to delay your goals of the attention of financial independence or not. And if financial independence is more important for you, then you are going to make the right decisions. Self discipline is much easier than you think. At first glance, self discipline seems hard. It takes unbelievable amounts of the willpower and commitment in some ways, that's true. However, that's just a part of the story, because the other part is that discipline means you are limited your daily choices. One of the things that consumes a lot of your energy is the number of the choices you have made on a daily basis, and discipline simply tells you that you no longer have to decide. You have already made a choice to commit to doing things, and that's every single day. You don't have to decide what you're gonna to do first things in the morning because you have to go for a jog. Friday evenings, should you hang out with the friends, watch Netflix at home, or play video games? None, because you have hit the gym. Discipline means having the strict daily routine. It's only difficult code in the beginning. Once you are incorporated into your life, just get easier. You will do that what you're supposed to do by default. Overall, you will be more satisfied with your life since you will be accomplished your goals. Find out what's holding you back. Discipline basically means getting rid of the bad habits and replace them with good habits that will eventually lead to great outcomes down the road. But before you start, you have to figure out what your brand habits that you want to stop. Be in smoking, wasting time buying unnecessary things, eating unhealthy, doesn't matter. Create a list, write them down, and you are not going to get rid of them in 1 month. It might take you years or more, but having them right in front of you makes it much easier to create another column besides it and write the habits that you are going to replace them with. Bind watching on Netflix with the working out, unhealthy burger with the salads, snacks with fruits. Write them and big broads and stick to the board in your room and office. Make sure it's always visible to you. Deadlines. Have you ever heard the saying that a goal is a dream with the deadline? Whether you want to accomplish, if it doesn't have the deadline, it's just wishful thinking, and the deadline should be reasonable and specific. Even if you are starting with a small incremental steps, it's important that you set the deadline for it, even if you end up missing it. Set another deadline. Of course, the point isn't to set a deadline in order to miss them, but without a clear time frame, you will end up procrastinating. And lastly, failure is a part of the progress. Don't expect yourself to be hyper productive every single day. Just because you can't do it today doesn't mean you shouldn't try again. Cheat days are part of the progress. As someone who works out regularly and tries to eat healthy all the time, I have cheated days too. Sometimes I would have fast food. I know that's wrong, but I don't hold myself to it. The next day, I would try harder to stick to my diet. If you couldn't wake up early enough, it's fine. Try again tomorrow. The most important thing is never give up, and you will certainly make it. Here you go. It is your secret recipe for building self-disciplines. I know that they work because I used them to discipline myself. It was not easy, but eventually I made it, and since then, my life has only changed for the better, and I am confident that your will be as well. If you have enjoyed the video and most importantly found it helpful, make sure to give the thumbs up. And if you are the new around here, then welcome to a channel. We are glad to have you around. hit the subscribe buttons and the bell besides, and be the first to know when the next video will be uploaded to the channel. Thanks for watching, and until next time.